Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of The Guido Goes Off. I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but I'm finally getting to my Summerslam review. Talked with a lot of people. There's a lot of mixed feelings on this pay-per-view. Um, but with that in mind, let's get started on the matches. Okay, the first match on the card, starting on the kickoff show, started with Jason Jordan and the Hardys versus The Miz and the Miztourage of Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. Uh, Basically, this is all stemming from the the burgeoning feud going on between The Miz and Jason Jordan. The Hardys have been thrown into the mix as The Miz has got his little entourage with him of Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. And all the men were thrown into a six-man tag team match to start off the kickoff show. It was good. We got Matt and Jeff being Matt and Jeff, the Miz, but basically what it came down to, Jason Jordan finally got tagged in, and he started cleaning house, and then he was about to do his big suplex, or his big move on Curtis Axel, missed the blind tag from The Miz, and got hit with the skull-crushing finale from behind. 1, 2, 3. Your winners, The Miz and the Miztourage. I can see where people might be complaining about this, but I think it was a good move to do it in this manner because they're trying to do the slow build of Jason Jordan and The Miz, I guess eventually becoming into an Intercontinental title match. A lot of people complained that the Intercontinental title was not defended. So technically, it is one of the titles that did not change hands. Actually, a bit of a rare thing going on with the pay-per-view, which we'll get to later. But I could see I think it was a smart move because you're starting Jason Jordan onto this path. We're trying to make him something, and working with The Miz is good, but getting him an Intercontinental title shot, yeah, nepotism at its finest. So doing it this way, you get them going forward, and probably see this feud build down the line. Again, it was a good match for what it was. It was actually good and set the tone for the rest of the night. Okay, the second match on the kickoff show, I swear they might as well call this thing the kickoff title. It was the match for the Cruiserweight Championship between Akira Tozawa and Neville. It was a good match, but it was clear on Raw this past week they were putting more of an effort into it, and this time it was less. I'm not going to say that they were phoning it in, but it wasn't quite as spectacular. And, of course, with Neville winning, which was kind of a big surprise to a lot of people. And a lot of people were complaining, why bother even doing the title change? I don't know what they're going to do with it, because you've got the Superstar Shakeup coming up, but the Cruiserweights are exclusive to Raw, so will anyone be leaving there? It's the question, and I had heard that Neville was going to be given some time off, and so him winning the title back kind of puts that into question. So I don't know if there's a rubber match on Raw or what have you, but what I do know is this: it was decent, but it could have been a lot better. And it was the first of many titles to change hands on this card. So I want to say it was good, but like I said, it could have been a lot better. Okay, up next was the SmackDown Live Tag Team Title match, the final match of the pre-show, or the kickoff show, where the New Day, in this case, it was going to be Xavier Woods and Big E, defending against the Usos. And I do find it's a very interesting dynamic in this. they pretty much kept it clean, but and the Usos doing what the Usos are doing. I mean, the gimmick change was good, but there's still it's finding a reason to get behind these guys, and especially considering they're the heels, and interestingly enough, winning clean. Um, throwing a super kick party on Big E, and then hitting the double Superfly splash to get the 1, 2, 3 and become once again the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. It's an interesting dynamic, especially between these two teams. I mean, you've got the New Day, who have been cheered and been celebrated, but on more than one occasion they have used a lot of occasions they've used heel tactics to win. I mean, they use the Freebird rule. They use the outside interference of the third man. While you have the Usos, who, despite it not leaving a good taste in your mouth, are following the rules of tag team wrestling and are winning clean. It's just an odd dynamic for me. And plus, now you have a situation where does SmackDown Live's tag team division go from here? Because it's pretty barren. You have, simply put, you just have the New Day, the Usos, Breezango, who's ripping off every every supernatural drama there is. I mean, I'm thinking they're going to rip off Supernatural next, I guess. I don't know, but they're trying to find excuses to keep Tyler Breeze in a dress. And then there's the Ascension. So the Superstar Shakeup could really help the SmackDown Live Tag Team division because, to be quite honest, it is anemic. Unless you might actually, holy hell, do something with the Ascension. That'd be nice. And Breezango's entertaining. People like him. But it's getting them in the ring and having them wrestle. That's been, so it could be very helpful, a switch up, a Superstar shake-up, sending another tag team to SmackDown, and something of name value. I could toss out a couple names, but we'll just throw that out as a suggestion later. But anyway, your winners and new SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions, the Usos. Okay, moving on to the main body of the card. You start off with Baron Corbin taking on John Cena. Or basically, the fall of Baron Corbin is basically what this was. And, they could talk this up all they want. It's basically a situation of where we know what's going on. Basically, this match wasn't a match. It was indeed punishment. As we all know about the backstage stuff going on with Baron Corbin. Apparently, he has not been a good boy on Twitter and has gone after fans, including especially notable exchange with a military veteran. Which, as you know, WWE does a lot for the troops. So, not the smartest thing Baron Corbin has ever done. And clearly, we are seeing the punishment. And clearly, we are seeing the punishment for that. Where he is basically, as we saw, the oh-so-quick cash-in of Money in the Bank. The oh-so-quick losing of Money in the Bank. And now, a loss on a major pay-per-view to John Cena. It's... Simply put, Corbin is getting dogged. I'm not going to lie, he's getting dogged. And because it doesn't do him any favors losing to Cena, especially when Cena is going to go to Raw, as he's a free agent and can do whatever he wants because, well, he's John Cena. And Baron is just, I think if this keeps up, it's probably just going to slide deeper and deeper and deeper down the card. I mean, as we all know, I'm not exactly a fan of Baron Corbin, but you do reap what you sow in this business, and especially trolling fans like he's been doing, and especially going after military veterans. Yeah, this is like one of several instances, basically of essentially we are watching public floggings. We are watching the handing out of a punishment live on television. So John Cena goes over. So John Cena beats Baron Corbin. Cena wins. Lol. Okay, up next was the SmackDown Live Women's Title match between Naomi and Natalya. Naomi defending the SmackDown Live Women's Title. I will keep my jokes about if you have to go for more than 4 hours, you should see a doctor, to a minimum. But the match was good. The match was really good. I mean, it was short. I mean, a lot of these matches seem to have been short. I guess they were trying to get as much time as possible for the main event. It happens. But in that time, they had a good, solid match, an exchange of submissions, to where Naomi was trying to get that triangle triangle choke submission that she's trying to use. I guess that's what it is. Yeah. And then Natty somehow transitions it into the sharpshooter. Okay, actually, Natty was trying to do the sharpshooter, and then she got flipped and into that triangle. Then turned it around, went back into the sharpshooter, and got the submission win, becoming the SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Great for Natty. As we know, Natty's had quite the drought of championship title reigns, and it's Natty's been a mainstay. Natty's been a constantly great worker. And don't get me wrong, Naomi has improved tremendously in her in-ring work. She has gone a long way from jumping up in the air, doing the splits, and praying someone runs into your ass. She's gone for leaps and bounds. She's grown quite a bit, and I'm proud of her for that. And putting the title on her, I think, was a good decision because she made the changes, became a better wrestler, and earned it. And Natalya has earned it by consistent great work. So your winner and new SmackDown Live Women's Champion, Natalya. Okay, up next was another public flogging. And I'm thinking we were the ones getting punished for this one. It was the match Big Show versus Big Cass with Enzo Amore in a shark cage. Before the match even started, I take an issue with this stipulation even at all, because putting someone in a shark cage, the reason you do that is because that person has interfered in matches and has been a thorn in the side of somebody, and you do that to neutralize them. When clearly in this feud, Enzo has been ineffectual. He runs and does a little dance, does his thing. And then Cass gives him the big boot, knocks him out. So the reason for even having him in a shark cage is beyond me. But honestly, he was still the most exciting part of this match. We all know what Big Show is capable of. The man's spent a very long time being very entertaining. The problem is Cass is the direct opposite. It is simply put, this match was clearly geared toward trying to make Cass look good. The problem is Cass can't make Cass look good. It was very, I agree with the crowd, it was boring. It's basically, you're watching Enzo doing what he's doing, and then Enzo starts stripping and putting baby oil all over himself to slide out of the cage. I'm sitting there like, whoa, I thought this was a family show. And then he gets out, and then he jumps down, and he promptly gets a big boot from Cass. And then Cass hits the big boot on Big Show with the Empire, and then the Empire elbow. 1, 2, 3, your winner. You can wake back up, Big Cass. Simply put, again, we're clearly seeing this as punishment for Enzo for reasons. I know on Raw, they're saying that he and Big Cass are going to be in a Brooklyn street fight. So maybe they'll do something different here. But simply put, we can tell this is punishment. And I think it's mostly punishment for Enzo being over. Where, Vince likes his big guys and he sees big things with Big Cass. The problem is, no one else does. His promos are, his promos are robotic. His moveset's tragic. He's not even, you're not a great athlete. It's another situation of why. I got an even bigger why coming later, but I guess this feud's over, so we're gonna move on. Your winner, Big Cass. Okay, the next contest, again, another quick one. It was Randy Orton versus Rusev. Rusev jumped Randy Orton, attacked, and gave him a severe beating before the match even began. Then the match began, an RKO out of nowhere. Which, Rusev landed very awkwardly, so I hope Rusev's okay. People were wondering what Rusev did to lose this match in such quick fashion. I don't know. I mean, maybe they just were shaving time, but it's another situation of why this because is what happened. This match was was there, just there and gone, and you're left scratching your head. Why? So your winner, Randy Orton. Okay, all right. Okay, up next was the Raw Women's Championship match. Alexa Bliss defending the title against Sasha Banks. Bayley once again getting booed for apparently existing when she hugged Sasha in the back. And given what Sasha received at TakeOver 3, I'm not surprised. They're just booing everybody in Brooklyn, I guess. Going up against Alexa Bliss. I liked the match, at least the match itself. The match, it's there's been improvement of Alexa Bliss, which I have criticized Alexa of doing. It's her wrestling is finally catching up to her mic work, which her mic work has been superb. And yes, I know I've criticized her about how she got to where she is, but she's doing what she needs to do, at least as far as in the ring, on the mic, all that improvement to stay where she is, and that's on the top of, or at least the top in the conversation of the women's division. Sasha winning, I can understand it. I know there's a lot of people complaining because now this puts her at 4 title wins, and they're like, why? Well, my guess is hopefully they're doing the thing where they're going to turn Bayley heel. And I think this is setting this up. As I've been talking about, I talked about that fact a couple shows ago. So this could be setting up for that because it'll make it more, just because it'll make it more believable if it's against Sasha, someone Bayley has beaten, as opposed to what happened with Alexa Bliss, where it's, where that change, and also where that change of attitude would be more dramatic. So, with that being said, I can see where it's a good reason, and maybe they'll do something this week as they get the next pay-per-view. No Mercy, as Raw gets the next pay-per-view, No Mercy. So we'll see what goes on from there. But your winner and new Raw Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. Up next was one of the most anticipated matches of the night. Finn Balor, and yes, we all knew he was going to be Demon. We didn't need WWE to tell us he was going to be the Demon. We just should have let it go. Versus the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. A good showing by both men. I'm going to take the entrance and move that aside because it's always awesome. But I did like how before his stuff was going on, he had that creepy kid singing "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands," which Bray Wyatt did a couple of years ago against John Cena, and kind of turned it against him. The match was good, solid. Both guys giving their best. And what I love, I mean, it looked like Bray was coursing, but you could tell he had that "oh shit" moment. And I just love seeing the look of people when they have that "oh shit" moment. And it's just it was a great match. I can't really if you go on my Twitter, you'll see like gaps in between tweets on some points. That'll be when I'm actually focused on a match and when I'm watching it, and usually that is a very good sign that they're doing something right. And I think with this, they did something right. Question's going to be, of course, what's going forward. As we all know, Bray's been kind of stagnant, and they're trying to build Finn more towards that and getting him away from the Demon and more into that. But it's nice to know that that is still there. That dynamic of his character is still there. Your winner, Finn Balor. Okay, up next was the Raw Tag Team title match. Cesaro and Sheamus, The Bar, and their fusion dance. I want that t-shirt, WWE Shop. I don't care what it takes. I don't care if you have to talk to Funimation, Toei Animation, Fuji TV, Akira Toriyama. I don't care who you have to talk to. I want that fusion dance t-shirt. Versus the mini Shield reunion of Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. I can see, and this was a good match, but I really think what was the highlight of the match, in fact, one of my highlights of the night, if not the highlight of the night, was Cesaro just dashing off into the crowd, jumping over the rail, dashing into the crowd, grabbing the beach ball that some asshole brought in, and ripping it to shreds and tossing it. Basically saying, no, you're going to watch us. I mean, that's one way to grab the audience's attention, and I'd say it worked. I mean, the match was good, and, you see this dynamic of where Ambrose and Rollins are teaming together, and it's working well. And then, of course, they won and became the Raw Tag Team Champions, to really the surprise of no one, but this is going to help. As we all know, both these guys have been spinning their wheels since Mania. Ambrose had that feud with Miz where he's working, trying to get trying to get something on, but it just kept dragging on. And then Seth really has been spinning his wheels ever since he beat Triple H at Mania. It's just been, okay, Seth Rollins is here. So what are you going to do with him? So it's good to see. So putting these two together, having them tag, and having them become tag team champions, I mean, it's interesting because you got the odd couple dynamic, but you also have that familiarity. And so it works. So going forward, we'll see what happens here, and could get interesting. So your winners in new Smack. I did like the transition with that new knee strike of Rollins into the Dirty Deeds and getting the pin that way. So your winners and new Raw Tag Team Champions, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. Okay, up next was the United States Championship match. AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. Shane had stipulated that if he gets hit with something inadvertent, he wouldn't do anything. But when someone put his hands on him, he was going to put his hands back on them. And that's kind of what happened. Basically there's a couple of instances where AJ had inadvertently hit Shane McMahon during the match. And then but then Kevin Owens actually, started shoving him, and then he shoved him back, and he got caught with a schoolboy. It was, pretty much the good solid effort between the two guys. AJ winning with the Styles Clash and retaining the title. A lot of people are thinking this is still going to build towards an AJ Shane feud, where they're going to have teams in Survivor Series or something. But who knows? It's a simple part of where does it go? Because I know clearly they're trying to rebuild something with Owens. They're taking away that anti-American, that new face of America gimmick, because they have enough anti-American stuff going on right now. And so you're probably going to see change in Kevin Owens. And as far as AJ, whether this iffy relationship with Shane. So, there goes your winner, and the first man to retain his title, the first man to retain his title, on the card. Your winner still U.S. champion AJ Styles. Up next was, to be honest, the most disappointing match of the night. A lot of people are very, very, very upset about this one. It was Jinder Mahal defending the WWE Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. It was simply put, Jinder. Simply put, there's problems with this all around, and yes, it could possibly have been punishment. Because of Jinder winning the way he won and looking extremely weak in victory. Honestly, a lot of people are saying this, that Jinder is the weakest looking WWE champion there has ever been. And we're talking about where a title JBL is held. So, you had Nakamura was pretty much dominant the entire match, and then all of a sudden the Singh brothers get involved, and all of a sudden it's like, the power of pit smell and steroids. I don't know what happened, and so Jinder wins, hitting the sloppiest coloss we've seen. 1, 2, 3 winner, still WWE champion, Jinder Mahal. Okay. This is pretty much stupid. This is stupid booking, and I will tell you why. One, you have taken, you're trying to legitimize Jinder Mahal, and you're rushing it, and you're trying to keep it this way, and in the process, you have made him look very, very weak. He's like the weakest, a very, very weak champion. It's like he cannot win on his own. You're doing it to try to get your product popular in India, and even then, it's still not working. And 3, you are taking one of the greatest talents in the past 20 years, and you were basically destroying the legacy that he has built. You are making Nakamura, this is proof positive that, honestly, if you are signed with NXT, don't leave. Don't ever leave, because they will not know what to do with you on the main roster, because they care more about getting their market share than putting out a product that people want to watch and making it to where it's believable. Seriously, when will it end with this? Because it's not working. None of this is working. That's not how this works. It's not how any of this works. It's crap. They should have Jinder drop the title and try again, because it's not working. What you are doing now is not working, and in the process, you are literally destroying one of the greatest talents in modern history. Well, at least SummerSlam ended on a high note. The Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar, the Beast, defending against Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, and some other guy. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. Some guy. I'm just kidding, Roman Reigns. Good Lord, the destruction, the carnage, the mayhem. Braun Strowman didn't walk out the champion. I'm just gonna say that, but it wasn't for lack of trying. Doing 2 running power slams on Lesnar through 2 of the announce tables, and then pushing the 3rd announce table on top of him, and then the office chair throw. Always great. Yes, and then there's a back and forth between Strowman and Reigns. That's still going on because he's not finished with you. Reigns smacking the chair. I mean, clearly it was an inadvertent shot with the corner of it. You got Strowman opened up. And then Joe came in, and Joe was starting to mix it up with Strowman. Now, after the whole thing, Lesnar was carted off on a stretcher. He then ends up coming back and being Lesnar. And you're seeing those back and forth, and then, and that was just when it looked, and then Reigns raining down Superman punch after Superman punch after Superman punch, and then finally going for that spear, he gets F5'd. It's over. You're a winner. Still WWE Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. It's great to see you. We'll see you again probably at the Royal Rumble, because why should we see our champion? I can understand where the booking, but then again, no one really looked that weak in this match. I had a big complaint on Great Balls of Fire about how Samoa Joe just gave this pounding Brock Lesnar, and he's like, "I'm back, F5. Oh, I'm back, F5." But in this case, it's going to be interesting where the Universal title picture ends up, because honestly, I guess that match easily the highlight of the night. You had your top 4 guys, I guess, or Vince considers the top 4 guys on Raw going at it and putting together an awesome match. So where the title picture goes from there, that part is going to be quite interesting. Well, that is going to do it for my SummerSlam 2017 review. Once again, thank you for watching. I know we all will probably agree to disagree on what was the best and what was the worst of it. I mean, clearly the best was that Fatal 4-Way. The worst being the match right before it. It had some good points, and some it left an interesting taste in people's mouth, a bad taste in people's mouths. All told, I enjoyed it. Not all of it, but I enjoyed it as a whole. So, what were your thoughts on SummerSlam 2017? As always, feel free to leave a comment in the section below, and also on my most glorious social media. And of course, if we didn't quite make our goal of 50 subscribers by SummerSlam, but we'll just try again. We'll try for Survivor Series. Let's go with let's see if we can get 60 by Survivor Series. So, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. Also, like this video and share it with everyone that your pastor will get a kick out of this, I'm sure. So, until next time, I am the Guido, and I think we're done here.